Shalom, it's Jacob from Echad. Welcome back. Let's get right into the next source. Well, now we're going to, we've heard the word Targum being thrown around many times. The meaning of the scripture, okay, the transmitted meaning of the scripture. Who are the ones transmitting the Targum? Who are the sages that are transmitting the transmitted meaning of scripture? And now let's get into that source right now. So again, you can download the source book in the downloads, but in the comments, beneath the video. So it says Ve'amar Rabbi Yirmiyah. So the sage Rabbi Yirmiyah, sage in Israel, Ve'ithema, and some say Yeth Omrim. Ithema is like a very jumbled word of Yeth Omrim, because again, Aramaic is fake Hebrew, jumbled Hebrew. Ithema Rav Chia Bar Abba, and thumb Fe, if you want, as if it's like mispronounced Hebrew again. Ve'ithema, and some Ve'yesh Omrim Rabbi Chia Bar Abba. Some say it was the sage Rabbi Chia Bar Abba. Again, how careful the sages are to quote who it is. So we're right now in Bavli Megillah, the tractate dealing with the Megillah, Megillat Esther, and Megillah scrolls in general, and things like that, the rules. So it says Targum Shel Torah, the transmitted explicit meaning of the entire what's called Torah, which here it's mainly referring to, the 5/5 of Torah, the 5/5 that Moshe copied and scribed at Sinai before millions and brought them down with that. The initial Luchot, again, the entire Torah was already given there. They saw from one end of the universe to the next. All the prophecies were given at that time to be then carried out through. That's partly what Sefer Tehillim is. It was prophecies transmitted through the generations to guide Israel, to guide the world, not just Israel. Again, Israel is just supposed to be the final hope for the world, of preservers of the truth in case the world ever fell to such a degrading degree. The real ones are supposed to be those beacons of light. So the Targum of the Torah, the 5/5 of the Torah, Unkilus Hager Amoro Mipi Rabbi Eliezer Rabbi Yoshua. Unkilus, the convert, and now we're going to get into, as we mentioned in the previous video, why would you call him the convert when we don't remind converts they're converts? If they've converted, they're Israel. Why Hager, the convert, all of a sudden? Isn't it also degrading, as we asked in the previous video? But we're about to understand. Amru mipi Rabbi Eliezer ve'Rabbi Yoshua. He who converted, Unkilus, the convert, meaning it's said as a language of praise because who he converted from, and we're going to get into that source following this one. And again, this is just the collection of sources that are all in order, hopefully, except for that flow above that we're going to fix. But all in order. Once we're introduced who authored each Targum, then we're going to learn who are the authors and delve into their lives. First, let's understand who authored each Targum. Right, so Unkilus, the convert, we're going to get that answer coming shortly, either in this video or in the coming video. But said it from the mouth of Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua, these two Torah giants, and we're going to learn who they are as well. How they fit on the rung of giants, this ladder of gigantic sages that I can't even comprehend. So anyway, Unkilus said it from Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua, who are the teachers of Rabbi Akiva as well. Unkilus and Rabbi Akiva, from what I understand, are sitting in the same classroom. They're sitting right before Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua. So you have Rabbi Akiva and Unkilus together. Unkilus, we'll learn, is a royal convert, the nephew of Titus, who destroyed the temple. That's why we say Hager, the convert, meaning he asked, they're saying, because he was a master of black magic, he was in the royal Roman family, he was very well versed in all of the wisdom, and he asked the Caesar, the king, I forgot if Titus is the general and then became Caesar, or he was the Caesar at that time, I forgot. Either way, he summoned him through black magic and asked him after he died. There's a conversation where Unkilus was alive and just talking to his uncle, Titus, and talking to him about what he sees in the world and what he's been dealing with and all. And Unkilus wanted to know if he should convert all these or he followed his advice. These are amazing sources. Maybe we'll add that actually, now that we're saying it. But we'll learn that. So I just wanted to give it a little bit in this video too, because it's like, I don't know when that video, if it's going to be the one following this one or the two following. So whatever, I just want to include a little bit of something here at least, in addition to obviously what we're doing. So Unkilus is a giant in his own right. And now he's transmitting the Targum, or he's received the full tradition from these two Torah giants, Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua, who are partners in learning, and they could have they disagreed. And this is a unique thing in Torah, is that it's specifically the people who disagreed were face to face because the better argument had to win, the better understanding, or the more authentic transmission. Really, it's very interesting once we're getting into this area, because if we're following the logics, or how could this be, it's beyond the scope of me. I mean, beyond the scope of this video, but I can't even answer it at this point in time. Like how, I could start to piece something together from different things that I've heard, but to not waste time right now. The point is, don't get angry is like a hint, because when anger causes to lose insight, to lose wisdom, to lose things, as the sages transmit, and it happened when Moshe got angry, he lost some of the wisdom that he was received as a gift from God. The whole thing that Moshe received. He lost like 3,000 different answers to 3,000 questions or something like that. And the same thing is like, again, avoid anger, learn wisdom, connect with the real deal. Targum, K'tav and you're good. K'tav and Targum, obviously, the real order. Okay. So Targum Shel Nevi'im, that was Unkelus from these two Torah giants, teachers of Rabbi Akiva, who the entire spoken Torah today is because of Rabbi Akiva, as Rabbi Moshe Shapira Zatzal quotes, via Rabbi Ram Kalimi and Reish Yerushalayim, but saying that just like the written Torah is called Torat Moshe, the spoken Torah is called Torat Rabbi Akiva, the Torah of Rabbi Akiva, and Rabbi Akiva himself is going to point to Rachel, his wife. It's all in her merit that she saved his life at 40. She told him, go learn. I'll marry you if you learn. If you go and learn in Torah, I'll marry you. And she saved his life and all of Israel till today. She'll leave it. We'll get to that source as well. Okay, now here we go. Targum Shel Nevi'im. And it's supposed to be exciting, because this is crazy sources that we have to know. We have to know them. B'ezrat Hashem, fitting to be in this series indeed. The most essential sources for every beginner. So it says Targum Shel Nevi'im, the explicit transmitted the transmitted meaning of the scripture of the prophets section of Tanakh, of Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim, the Torah, the light of truth, the illumination, the guide. Nevi'im are the prophets, Ketuvim are the prophetic writings. Nevi'im were said publicly and written down. The Ketuvim were not said publicly. They were only scribed down, and whoever wanted to know had to go and copy it for themselves and had to receive it from the chain of transmission. That's why Ketuvim is the most cryptic, and that's why it has the most Targum, therefore. So they're saying here, Targum Shel Nevi'im, the transmitted explicit meaning of the prophets, the prophetic section of scripture, of Tanakh. Obviously, it's all prophetic, but meaning the prophets, the teacher prophets, maybe to say it like that, because these are the leaders of millions of prophets. These are the gigantic teacher prophets of those times, whose prophecies are given for all time. There were millions upon millions of actual prophets, but their prophecies were more maybe interpersonal, or in the community, or just to help out. I mean, it's so significant for yourself, even for your family, to be a prophet, a real, not like TV. I'm a prophet and whatever. Maybe again, why prophet and prophet is the same word, and who knows? But again, this is not at all how it went down. All the people. The point is the nation of prophets, men, women, children. And really connecting with the truth. And in order to be a prophet, you need happiness and you need wisdom. The two keys to true prophecy, as the sages transmit. Okay, and so they're saying the Targum of Nevi'im, Yonatan ben Uziel was saying this. Yonatan ben Uziel, who is a giant in his own right, and we're going to hear what that is, said it from Chagai, Zechariah, and Malachi. Said it from the three giants, Chagai, Zechariah, and Malachi. And just to keep it short, I guess, let me clip this video and we'll get into it in the next video.